For whatever reason, my alternator's not lining up straight. This is causing some problems with the belts not staying on the car when I'm shifting from 4th gear. Now, I don't know exactly what the problem is, but I've got a pretty good idea. It's going to have to do with the lower bolt, because that's the one that holds everything in alignment. I wish I had figured this out when I was doing the turbo swap, because then I would have had everything out of my way. In order to mess with the alternator, the best way to do it is to take the power steering pump off. You don't have to remove the hydraulic lines or anything like that. You just need to be able to get it out of your way. Those are flexible, they bend around. But so I'm going to take that thing off and take the lower pin of the alternator out. If I need to lower the engine, the bolt for that is right there. I can pull that thing out with a jack underneath the oil pan and lower the engine so I can get to the hole a little bit better. And enjoy. Now, before you do anything with that, disconnect the battery. In my case, I can just disconnect the alternator, because I have a separate line run for that to feed power to the battery. And that's that one right there. And by disconnecting that one, I keep my ECU settings. Oh, there's the alternator. She ain't scrape. Not at all. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect all the connections on it. There we go. A lone 13mm on the car. There's an 8mm down here. I know if all sizes right. Well, maybe it's a 10. Alright, so that's that. Tensioner assembly. Looks like that bolt is loose, but even if it were tight, I think it's just wobbling around in the hole. If you don't have a set of gear wrenches yet, you should have them if for no other reason alone than just working around the alternator. Looks like the bolt hole is worn out. Let's get a better look at that. Alright, so here we have the shoulder bolt that holds the bottom end of the alternator in, and you can see right here there's a little piece cast into the alternator to keep that from spinning. That's the right bolt for it. It's supposed to be anyway. I think we're gonna find a problem on the other side of that hole. Magical. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of worn off a little bit here. Missing some threads. Looks like the bolt's worn out. Huh. All this time I thought it was a hole. I bet you the hole doesn't look too good either. Let's find out. Yep, the hole's worn out. That's the problem. I've heard of this happening. There's a trick to this. You either be forced to replace the whole oil filter housing to fix this problem, Or you put a bigger hole through that, drill a bigger hole through the alternator supports, put a bigger bolt through it. So I'm going to head down to Lowe's and see what I can find on the shelf as far as 3/8 inch hardware is concerned. I have a feeling that'll be enough to do it. That's a mighty big gash right there, but not having a TIG welder around, I can't put metal back in that hole. I may try to shim it. We'll see what happens.